Hello, is this thing on? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel! Hi, how are ya? Yes, you guys, I'm back! Miss Jeffrey Lynn. We are officially back on YouTube and we have a lot to catch up on. So grab a Red Bull, grab a snack, and hi, how are ya? It's been about 10 months since I've uploaded on my channel. I know, a lot of you felt like I abandoned you. I am so sorry, I apologize. I'm back! Now, we took a very long hiatus after almost 10 years of beauty and lifestyle content. Big Mama, I needed a break. I'm sure most of you know we have left LA about 4 years ago now. I know, where has the time gone? 4 years ago, we moved to Wyoming. We've been living on a big old ranch. I'm a real cowboy now. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but baby, we're makeup moguling and we're yak wrenching. And yesterday, I opened up my second ever retail store. So now we have 2. This is so crazy. So there's a lot to catch up on in my life, but most importantly today, we are here to do a little documentary style content. I miss long form content. Yes, we all know I'm the queen of TikTok now and I'm having a lot of fun over there, but I really missed you guys. Literally almost a third of my life was spent on YouTube. So we are officially diving in, and today is going to be monumental. Life has been amazing out in Wyoming. I truly can't complain. It's been a very wild roller coaster. And we at Jeffree Star Cosmetics have had a astounding run. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but in November, it's my 10th anniversary as a company. So as we're looking at dates and things to celebrate, I stumbled across something. Oh girl, I know a lot of you know and have seen this before. If you have no idea what I'm holding, yes, this is a CD first of all. Some of y'all are like, what the hell is this? Yes, back in my day, we played CDs to listen to music. This is my first and one and only full-length album. It is called Beauty Killer. It came out 15 years ago! So we are here to dive into, yes, almost like a VH1 behind the music moment to celebrate and acknowledge 15 years. And then of course, it's time to drop the bomb, baby. We are here to celebrate it. We have a re-release CD coming out. We have new vinyl. And I have 3 songs coming out. Oh my God! There's a lot of reflecting that is going to be happening, and we're gonna throw up a lot of really old clips. We dove through the archives, baby. So yes, I am doing a re-release of Beauty Killer, the 15th anniversary. It is going to be coming out very soon. And yes, everything will be launching on September 20th. It's happening, I can't believe it. Now, when I started my makeup brand, I fully abandoned music. I really did. I said goodbye to the past. I said sayonara. I did my last tour in a tour bus with a band playing shows in front of thousands of people in 2012. I was signed to Akon, the award-winning, of course, Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter. He is unreal. And back then, I was signed to him. Yes, I was one of his artists. It was a really wild journey, but we're gonna go back way deeper. But when I quit music, I fully immersed myself with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And now that we have 10 years in the game in the beauty industry, I felt like it was very appropriate to celebrate one of my greatest accomplishments as a musician. And it's time to do our big one, re-release this, give all the OGs something to celebrate, and all the new people something fun to listen to. So we're gonna go on a little journey right now, and then at the end of this journey, you guys are going to see what we have been working on for a really long time. We're gonna give you some song sneak peeks. We're gonna show you the new cover of Beauty Killer, because 15 years later, you can't use the same album cover, at least when you're not someone as iconic as me. So there is a brand new album cover, 3 new songs, and it is about to be really fabulous. So let's go on a little journey. Let's rewind our memories, because as I'm sitting here, all the memories are flooding in. And a lot of you know the history, but for those of you that don't, let's take you down a little walk. Now, in 2005, if y'all can even picture that long ago, little old Jeffrey Lynn had a blonde mohawk. I was very androgynous, and there really was not a guy in makeup at the time. Everyone else was doing their own thing. Boy George, Marilyn Manson, David Bowie, they were off, retired, or on a hiatus, or not really in the forefront, and Miss Jeffree Star came in that MySpace scene like a wrecking ball. And I met some people off of MySpace, and they happened to start a group called Hollywood Undead. Now, they would go on to sell millions of records, tour the world, and they are still an active group right now. Before they put out any music officially on a label, I was in the mix. Now, what got me into music? From a very young age, I listened to an eclectic realm. I used to have Marilyn Manson and the Spice Girls and Mariah Carey, Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, and Korn, Limp Bizkit. I mean, it was all a blend of all my favorite music. I was very eclectic. I was also obsessed with female rap. Now, my obsession with female rap is going to be very important because it really inspired me to want to rap as well. Yes, Jeffrey Lynn, star, can really lay down a freestyle. I love writing raps and I love that whole hip-hop culture. I've always loved it. So pop and hip-hop together was always my favorite. Now, I really grew up listening to Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Remy Ma, Queen Latifah. I loved female rappers. On MySpace one day I was clicking around and I met these dudes. They were called Hollywood Undead. We met at their apartment. They played me some music that they were playing and it was really funny, really catchy, very rappy. I proposed to them one day, maybe I can be like the female rapper in your group. Feature on a few songs, whatever, right? So one day on a very boring day in Los Angeles when we were all broke and doing absolutely nothing, we wrote a song called Turn Off the Lights. Yes, I wrote my very first rap verse. I featured on my very first song and it came out in 2005. Now, this song was very monumental for that group. Hollywood Undead was writing very catchy stuff and it just snowballed and it really blew up. I finally had the confidence to be an artist. I couldn't believe it. So living in Los Angeles, you can network and you can hustle and you somehow will meet the right people, whether it's at the right or the wrong time, and a bunch of musicians and people just kept falling into my life. And all of a sudden, months later, this Hollywood Undead track has blown up. They've blown up. They're massive. They signed to Interscope Records. Now back then, they did have me re-record my verse. I was in the studio and they sadly never used it on their debut album. But that's okay, because most of you will never forget my verse. Now let's fast forward to 2006 and 7. I was one of the biggest names on MySpace.com. It was the epitome of social media back then. It is what TikTok is back then. It was absolutely insane. I got a lot of attention. I was very outspoken, very still who exactly I am today. Now, I got the confidence to do music. I couldn't believe it. Little Jeffrey wanted to rap. I wanted to do dance music. I wanted to do hip hop. I wanted to rap. I wanted to be a pop star. And who could blame me, right? Hello, I was in the City of Angels. So here we are. I'm meeting all these people, meeting musicians. I go to shows all the time. I grew up in Huntington Beach, California. I was at Chain Reaction in Anaheim. I was at the House of Blues. I was at the Whiskey A Go Go on Sunset, the Roxy, the Key Club. I went to shows all the time. I was very into the music scene. And through networking, I met producers. I met songwriters. And all of a sudden, I wrote my debut EP called Plastic Surgery Slumber Party. My first song was called We Want. Yes, my screen name used to be the C word. So on brand, I know. And of course, later in life, I legally changed my name at 19 to Jeffree Star, and we never turned back. So my debut song comes out. Very offensive, very wild, very rappy, and it blew up. And then I released my second song, Eyelash Curlers and Butcher Knives. What's the difference? That blew up. It was wild. And then all of a sudden, I have an EP worth of stuff. It's called Plastic Surgery Slumber Party. I put it out, and I kind of did it not as a joke, because I was taking it very serious, but I had no idea what was going to happen. I was a working makeup artist. I had done makeup since I was 12 years old. So I kind of put my makeup creativity on pause, did some music, and all of a sudden, we're getting emails, phone calls. People wanted to book me. I had no idea what I was doing. Fast forward to me figuring it out. I'm a boss bitch. We figured it out. All of a sudden, I'm on the road. I'm doing little shows. I'm opening up for this rapper. His name was Mickey Avalon. I'm opening up for Peaches, one of the most iconic underground electro stars. And little Jeffrey Lynn, star, is an actual musician. Whether people took me serious or not back then, I did. Whether people fully believed in it back then, I did. Was it maybe too ahead of its time? I think so. So all of a sudden, success comes very quickly, and I was unsure of what to do next. So I started my own little record label. It was called Popsicle Music, and it was under Warner Brothers, and it was in their umbrella house called Independent Label Group. Let's fast forward to This little guy, this is my second EP. It's called Cupcakes Taste Like Violence. This was very monumental for me and was really special. Oh my god, just looking at this is really wild, you guys. Oh my gosh, this is really special. So this came out and the success kept growing, and I really wanted to write a full-length album. It was time, it was so important, and I really wanted to be a pop star. So I went on the journey of writing my debut album, Beauty Killer. It came out all the way in 2009. It is really special when I'm looking at this. It was monumental for me. Now, this album features Nicki Minaj. It features Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio, who was in Blink-182. It features Breathe Carolina. It features, I mean, so many producers were on this, from Shakira's producer to people that have now had Grammys. It's truly mind-numbing. So on some unfortunate circumstances, I did not have the big debut that I wanted. I was under an umbrella, I didn't have the right promotion, I didn't have the right management, I didn't have the right team to really make this vision come to life. So yes, a lot of the internet heard it. Some of these songs had hundreds of thousands of plays, and back then, you didn't get paid for your streaming. We just were happy that people were listening, and it was really special. I was selling out shows all around the world. I played shows in the UK, Australia, all over America, and thousands of people were coming. They were buying merch, they were listening, they were singing my words that I had written back to me. And that was the most special thing about being an artist, was to connect with strangers who just understood who I was. So this album did not get the shine that it did. And I think now, looking back 15 years later, it definitely needs to have one more moment and one more hurrah. So we thought it would be really special to add 3 new songs to this. Now, a lot of you may know my MySpace hit single, Beauty Killer, which was of course the title track from the album. I thought it'd be really fun to dive in and kind of re-record it in a country kind of twang. So we re-recorded the song Beauty Killer, and then I wanted to capture that MySpace sound but make it current. So the other 2 new songs that I recorded for the limited edition vinyl and CDs and digital, oh baby, there's a lot here. The 2 new songs are really fun. One is really kind of like dance floor to the wall moment, and the other one is a very, very hip hop. This is me just dabbling and just dipping my feet into the pink water. I don't know what the future is gonna hold, but I'm ready to really get active and have fun. Can you imagine a Jeffree Star concert now? I can actually do everything I ever wanted to do. You never know, y'all. So get ready to experience some new music. Does this define exactly who I am as an artist right now? No, it is a bleep in time. I wanted to capture something and have a lot of fun. I'm so fucking excited for people to hear new music. So after this album came out, it was a very wild roller coaster. I didn't get the success that I wanted. I had put blood, sweat, and tears into this project. And then a couple years later, I'm somehow in Atlanta, and Nicki Minaj's manager introduces me to Mr. Akon. Now, a lot of you may not know, but yes, Nicki Minaj is featured on my debut album. It is a song called Lollipop Luxury. Her verse is actually just next level. It's so fun. And me and her worked on this song prior to really all of her massive success. I think her feature with Young Money and Bedrock had just came out. Your Love had dropped, and she was just bubbling. And I knew when I heard her mixtape prior to any massive success she had, I knew she was the one. I knew she was going to be next in line. Little did I know it was going to be so monumental, and she would change the rap game forever for the females. But baby, we got her on my album, and it was really special. She thanked me in her Pink Friday notes when her massive debut album came out, which I thought was so special. And yes, we still show love to each other till this day. So all of a sudden, I'm in Atlanta. Nicki Minaj's manager at the time is Deborah Anthony. She introduced me to Mr. Akon. And all of a sudden, little Jeffree Star, broke and on the verge of not sure what was going to happen, I'm in Akon's mansion. It was wild. He signs me as an artist and he's my manager. It was a very weird situation. Looking back, I would have done business way different, but I had the time of my life. I got to fly around the world with him. I got to learn so much business. I got to see the music industry behind the scenes in a totally different way with someone that has had so much success, but it wasn't the right time for me. So even though he had signed Lady Gaga, and even though he had worked with and signed T-Pain and had had so much success himself, it was the wrong place at the wrong time. And Jeffree Star was not meant to be a pop star at that time. So after a couple years of really trying and making a second album that never came out, I was very frustrated, very depressed, and on the verge of just quitting everything. So what did I do? I followed my gut and I quit. I fired everyone, the lawyers, the managers, the team. I said goodbye to touring and I said goodbye to it all. It was devastating, it was heartbreaking, and it was one of the most difficult decisions I've ever made in my entire life. But was it not the best decision in the world? So I said goodbye to music. I said sayonara. I put out my last song in 2013 called Love to My Cobain. I was finally making a sound I was really, really proud of. I was growing and developing as an artist. I was finding my voice, and then all of a sudden, it was all gone. I remember sitting in North Hollywood in that 2-bedroom apartment, me and Diva and Diamond just staring out the balcony, wondering, is this all over? Now, my passion for makeup had never dissipated. I did put it on the back burner. So all of a sudden, I'm back to doing makeup. And then social media was morphing and changing and turning into a whole nother monster. MySpace was fading. Instagram was on the rise. TikTok wasn't invented yet. And YouTube was massive. So little Jeffrey Lynn hopped on YouTube one day and saw a few girls doing makeup tutorials, and boy, did that change me forever. So I think most of you know the journey by now. What happened? I reactivated my YouTube channel, and for almost 10 years, I reviewed makeup. I showed you my relationships. I showed you my wild, rapid success as someone trying to figure it out, learning to be a CEO, and the full trajectory of the growth of my brand. You guys saw it all. We then did 2 documentaries. The conspiracy documentary was one of the most wildest journeys I've ever been on, one of the most proudest of my career. And it was just unreal. We sold the most eyeshadow palettes in history, in the beauty world, in an hour. It was monumental. Over 1 million units. I will never forget that day. Now, the beauty community on this app definitely disintegrated, and I lost my passion for beauty. I stopped reviewing makeup for a while. I kind of just felt out of place. And I did go to other apps. I went to TikTok. I really have just been having the best time over there reviewing makeup. And human beings started to digest content different. All of a sudden, even though a lot of my hardcore watchers love a nice long foundation video, 30-minute review, the viewers were falling for all of the beauty creators, not just me. People were going to TikTok. They were really focusing on Instagram. And YouTube for beauty had just shifted, and I lost my spark. So now, baby, we are fully back in business, and right now, I would love to show you a little debut makeup collection that we have been working on. Now, the anniversary of the music, it's not complicated, but it's broken down in 2 parts. So yes, there is Beauty Killer, the 15th anniversary CD and vinyl with a brand new cover. There is also a digital EP called Lollipop Killer, and there's a mini eyeshadow palette! Hello, we are one of the coolest, dopest, weirdest makeup brands on the planet! So of course, we had to do a little makeup collection with this celebration. Now, the Lollipop Killer palette, she's a 9-pan, she's mini, and of course it has the album cover on it! Oh my god, yes you guys, is this not next level? This is the album cover for Lollipop Killer, Beauty Killer 15th Anniversary re-release. Now let's open up Miss Lollipop Killer Mini Palette. Yes! Look at her, y'all. She is very bright. She is very obnoxious. It's giving MySpace scene, makeup colors, very bright, very wow, and very Beauty Killer. Now here it is in all of its glory. 9 beautiful shades that definitely represent the MySpace Jeffree Star. It's very pink, very goth, very bright, very old school Jeffree Star. Back then there wasn't a billion eyeshadow colors. There was only a couple brands really killing it, and then I came in the game. Hi! Yes sir! And the shades are all named after Beauty Killer, the album, the songs, the lyrics. It is a very on brand and is very stunning. So hi, how are ya? Now, the palette is really special because this is going to coincide with the music, but of course, there has to be a couple lipsticks, and we even made a liquid blush. Now, my famous Velour liquid lipstick is what catapulted my brand to the next level. It is our very first product we ever launched, so of course, we had to do a couple new shades for this collection. One is called a Lollipop Killer, and the other one is called a Strawberry Youth. They are very bright, very me, and I am wearing a Lollipop Killer right now with a very new lip liner coming out next year. Here is Strawberry Youth, and here is a Lollipop Killer. Now, my Magic Candy liquid blush is very famous. We have over 20 shades, the most out of any brand in America. So, of course, Miss Lollipop Luxury liquid blush, named after me and Nicki Minaj's famous song, Yes Sir, Yes Ma'am. Here she is. It is a very bubblegum bright coral shade. She really is that girl. And if you've never used my liquid blushes, a little goes a long way. So this entire mini little makeup collection plus all the new music, it's available for pre-order right now. We have 4 different vinyl variants. We have a limited edition CD, and baby, we have a digital EP as well. We really went all out. So everything is available to pre-order right now. It all launches September 20th. And just like the old days, everything is linked down below. Oh my God. I really missed it here. Wow. I would love to end this video with giving you guys a little sneak peek of some new music. Hi, hello. So here is a little clip of something new.
Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Self-made CEO, filthy rich, still a hoe. MySpace icon, Forbes list to cry on. Internet celebrity, coined it all wannabes. High heels, never trip. Swallow, never spit. Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya? Hi, how are ya?
Thank you so much for the warm welcome back. I cannot believe that I am coming back as a musician. So YouTube, saddle up. There's gonna be a lot more long form content coming, and we've been filming a lot over the year. So saddle up, get ready, and Jeffree Star is officially back. See you soon.